Good morning. Today is Saturday, the 26th of January, 2013. Here's all the news it's worth talking about in Panama today. Starting off with La Prensa, there's an organization called the CONATO. Basically, they're a group of unions. It's like taking a bunch of other unions and sticking them together, and you've got the CONATO. They say they're going to go on a strike. They had a meeting yesterday, and they say that they're going to have a strike starting on the 5th of February. Now, they have tied together a group of other organizations, such as the Broad Action Front in Cologne, the Indians in Changuinola, the Indians in the area of Chiriquí, and just a bunch of other of these perennial groups that have been protesting a bunch lately. And they're going to do a protest starting on the 5th of February. They're going to meet in the afternoon here over in the area of El Cangrejo on the corner near the Veneto Hotel, and they're going to go from there. Now, the thing that you need to know about these groups, that when they were protesting up there in Chiriquí and also in Changuinola, there was direct evidence that political operatives from the Panamanista party were basically buying these people off and paying them to protest. And I believe that that's the case with a lot of these groups. They're politically motivated to go out and cause problems to the Martinelli administration. And of course they'll say, well, we're against this or we're against that. But in reality, it's starting to heat up in the political season. So when you see the leader of these Indian movements, and then she was handed a pickup truck with a $29,000 price tag, just here as a gift because, you need a pickup truck. No, that's a quid pro quo. She was paid off to lead these people into protest. And the same thing, there was another, I forget his name, but he's a Panamanista politician. He was given equipment and money and supplies to the people up in Changuinola to protest as well. So, these things are they're bought and paid for. It is what it is, just so long as you see it for what it is. Okay, in the Panama America, the Molirena political party, they're doing a membership drive coming up here, I think, this weekend, and they still haven't named if they're going to have a political candidate running in 2014. In reality, the Molirena is going to not merge with, but they're going to be in an alliance with the CD, the Cambio Democrático, going into the elections in 2014. So they probably won't name their own presidential candidate. They want you to vote for the CD's presidential candidate, and then one of their guys might end up on the ticket or something like that. That's what they normally do. But between the Cambio Democrático and the Molirena together, they are by far the largest group. Bigger than the PRD, much bigger than the Panaministas. So anyway, they're doing a membership drive. Yesterday afternoon, Panama beat Guatemala 3-1 in a soccer match, and they slipped into the Gold Cup in the CONCACAF, which is the soccer federation for North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. They play the Gold Cup, and they had the Central America Cup to qualify for the Gold Cup. And Panama played 3 games, tied them all, barely slipped in. In the Central America Cup, there's only 7 teams that play, and 5 of them advance. And Panama was playing for their life yesterday. They had to beat Guatemala in order to slip in 5th place. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing for a team that's ranked supposedly 46 in the world or something like that. They barely got in. They barely qualified for the Gold Cup by the skin of their teeth. The best that Panama has done in the Gold Cup, I believe they placed 2nd in 2009. And these are, of course, it's dominated by the United States and Mexico, which are the powerhouses in the CONCACAF. And there's, several teams which are strong. So the Gold Cup kind of plays at the same time in parallel to and simultaneous to all of this here in 2013. We're going to be watching the games, which are the qualification games within the CONCACAF for the FIFA World Cup, which will be held in Brazil in 2014. Are you following this? Do you care about Panamanian soccer at all? I don't know. I do. Anyway, just so you know, Panama beat Guatemala yesterday, and they qualified for the Gold Cup in 5th place in the Central American Cup. Okay, over to the Critica. There was a guy who was with a friend, and they were fishing in the Rio. What was the name of the river? Rio Cañasas in Tortí, in the district of Chepo. They were fishing, and his friend hears, "Ay!" and boom, the guy disappears. He got snatched by a crocodile who pulled him into the river, drowned him, and then stuck his body in a cave on the side of the river. They found what was left of his body. The crocodile had eaten his right leg and his arms. They found his trunk and his left leg. This was the first fatal crocodile attack this year. However, there have been several, and it's always pretty much the same thing. Some guy standing by the edge of the water, and then the crocodile, which is an ambush hunter, pops out of the water, nails the guy, drags him into the water, and that's it. And there was nothing the friend could do. He hears snatch, there's a splash in the water, and then his buddy's gone. So that does happen, and it can happen anytime, anywhere where there's water in Panama. Fresh water, brackish water, and I've had fishermen telling me that they've seen these 20-foot long male crocodiles swimming in the ocean from one river to another, especially during the mating season. So yes, you can have crocodiles in the ocean, especially in the Pacific and Panama. So watch out for crocodiles because they will eat you. Okay, in Telemetro, they seized a load of illegal cocobolo wood logs that came out of the Darien, and they were loaded up in a container in the Manzanillo port in Colón, and they were about to be shipped to China. The cocobolo is in this article they call it a wood that's in danger of extinction. In 2011, the ANAM in Panama passed a resolution which prohibits the exportation or cutting of this wood. And of course, that there are, with any prohibition, there are exceptions and specific permits that can be granted. But in any case, this was a couple of containers, 2 containers, 40-foot long, packed full of cocobolo. They were seized by the authorities in Panama, and they're not going to be leaving the country. Of course, there was no talk about they arrested the bad guys, they're going to apply some fines. No. And here's the kicker. They know who's doing this. They have the paperwork on the containers. They got the paperwork on the trucks. If they wanted to, they could go back and they could shut this down. But that's not what they do. They just seize it, and for some reason, it's got to be bribed somehow. I don't know exactly how, but they could kill it if they wanted to, and they don't. So anyway. All right. Now, once again, the government of Panama, and specifically the guys who run the prisons, have been embarrassed by the amount of stuff that can be seized at will in the prisons, meaning contraband, guns, drugs, weapons, cell phones, you name it. So now they're going to start using dogs to sniff for contraband and metal detectors. Once again, if they wanted to shut this down, all they would have to do is actually bust the people that were doing it and put those people in prison. But they don't. But anyway, I just kind of wonder how much of this, we're going to use dogs, how much of it is just for show, and how much is it because if they want to really do something. Because if I wanted to shut down that contraband crap, put me in charge of a prison and I'd shut it down overnight. Okay, here in the Siglo, they have the sixth case of the Clostridium difficile bacterium in the Amador Guerrero Hospital in the city of Colón. With this case, there are now a total of 59 that have been affected by this bacteria, most of them in Chiriquí. But there's like 6 cases now in Colón. They've got these people in isolation wards, and this bacteria is a hospital, one of these hospital bacteria. It's they call it difficult because it's hard to treat once it gets into you, and it causes severe diarrhea, dehydration, and it can kill you. There was 59 people that have been affected, and 10 of them have died. So this is Just occurs. I believe it occurs probably in all hospitals, but it's been in Panama. Okay, here in the Mediario, the transit authority is, they say here they're going to take a hard look at the towing companies in Panama. And again, it's not specific. They just say that there's lots of complaints from consumers, and the towing companies are charging outrageous fees to move vehicles a short distance in a short period of time. Now, I don't know that there is anything on the books that the government says you can only charge so much. I believe that it's just whatever the market will bear. But according to this, that it's probably more of a warning than anything else. The transit authority is saying they're going to take a hard look at the companies. Well, let's see what they actually do. And here in the Dia Dia, here's the last story for today. I kind of ran over. They destroyed 5,000 kilograms of cocaine, 144 kilograms of marijuana, 5.69 kilograms of heroin, and a bunch of precursor drugs. They were burned in the Cerro Patacon, so 5,000 kilograms of coke basically went up in smoke. And what they do is they do these every, I'm not sure if they do one every month or one every couple of months, but they always, these big burns always happen with regularity. They seize the coke, they document it, they include it in the case file, then they destroy the actual cocaine. So yeah, 5,000 kilos of cocaine went up in flames. All right, that's it. That's it for today. I'm done. I'm out. Today is the 26th of January 2013, Saturday morning. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.